Hello, YouTube chess fans. This is hbeck. It is Thursday, or no, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, February 1st, 4 p.m. And I'm going to try something new this time. Welcome to the first episode of hbeck Daily Blitz. What I'm going to do here is, in an effort to play a little more often, play Blitz more often than just once a week, I'm going to play one Blitz game per day and provide live comments during that game and some brief analysis afterwards. So hopefully you'll enjoy this format. I got the inspiration. It's basically the same format as Chess Explained on YouTube. He's an IM from Germany. He makes some excellent YouTube videos, so check him out if you have time. Chess Explained on YouTube, and he plays a Blitz game. He'll give live comments. And yeah, and his show is one game. His video is about 10-15 minutes long as a result. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're logged into the, well, what I call the new chess.com, but it's actually almost a year old by now probably. But I haven't completely, the new format hasn't completely won me over, but I think I'm gonna try to give it an honest effort to use the new chess.com. I do like the board graphics for sure. Even if I'm not totally adjusted to the rest of the interface yet. So what we'll do here is we'll play, let's see, set a rate-in range for opponent, negative 200, 200. This is the standard. Get someone relatively close to our rate-in. And we'll play time control of game in 3 with 2-second increment. Okay, here we go. And we have the black pieces against Matthias 1971 from Syria, rated 1859. And we have a Sicilian defense. A C3 Sicilian. This is a very good line against the hyper-accelerated move order. Okay, we take and play d5. He can either take or he can play e5. I like e5 personally. Yeah, that's what he does. Okay, bishop g4, trying to create pressure on the d4 pawn. This is not so accurate. He should check me first to divert my knight to d7 rather than to c6, the optimum square. Now I should get a nice position. Let's see. Let's put the knight on c6. Now if bishop e5, he loses a tempo, so that's not attractive. Castles. We'll put the other knight on h6, aiming for f5. h3, we take. Let's take and play knight f5 immediately. Now we're threatened to take on d4. Bishop e3. We could take right away. Let's see. Queen b6 drops the d5 pawn. e6 protects it, then we could threaten that. Let's just castle. I'm not sure if it matters too much. We place knight c3 and then we play e6. Maybe we should have, he still is going to take with the pawn, though, whatever we take, so it doesn't really matter. Queen d2 might be, Queen d2, and now he can protect d4 of rook d1, so Queen b6, rook d1 seems to cover it. Play e6. Alright, now that he kicks us, his dark squares are kind of weak. This g4 move, I was waiting for him to play this. And we'll play this structure, which I believe to be pretty good for black. queen g5 or queen h4. Queen g5 doesn't really threaten anything yet. But queen h4 is nice. Now we want to play f6, takes, bishop h6, threatening here, knight e7. Well, knight e7, he can't go to f5 because of the g4 pawn. One good thing about it. But this is thematic, so we'll play it. And if he takes, we'll take with either the bishop or the rook. I guess with the rook, it's most ambitious. Although he can play e4 now. Well, he's supporting it with the knight. Let's just double. Okay. Bishop h6. Now I'd love to be able to get this knight into the game. But how? How to make more progress? Maybe bishop queen h6 now. Now bishop h4. We'll make an Alekine's gun. Queen 8 with queen f8. This bishop is pinned, and we're going to attack it. Well, now I can protect it. I don't know if that was right. I don't know if I should have taken maybe just queen f8 right away. Still, it's a pleasant position. Rook f4 threatens the pawn on d4. d5 is interesting. Bishop d5 is kind of interesting for him now. Or no. We'll just trade down. I guess we're not... This is not enough. Not enough. Only have bishop versus knight. Yeah, I really let him get away with this. This was a bad opening for him. Offer a draw, I guess. He doesn't want it, of course. Oh, I blundered knight c6. See, that's the problem with knights in Blitz. Oh, I could have just played king d7. Double blunder. Double blunder. Wow. That was terrible. That was terrible. Possibly one of the worst games I've ever played. Just totally winning and then totally drawn and then totally lost in like one move. Yeah, knight c6. Wow, just play king d7. Then I'm probably losing anyway. Knight takes, king d5. His king penetrates. Wow. Don't like that. That was awful. Let's analyze the game at least. Yeah. Can we flip the board? Can we flip the board? See, this is the problem of the new format. New chess.com format. It's awkward. No, clicking there doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything either. Actually have no clue how to flip this board. Oh well. Let's just look at it. Yeah, like this is a very like this bishop e2 move is just awful. This is just white doesn't know his openings at all. I mean, you just play bishop e5 check and white's better. Black should just be better after this because you get perfectly harmonious development. All this pressure on d4, which is kind of weak. Yeah, I mean he has to play bishop e3. Nothing else to do. I think I played this next part okay. Yeah. And here's a question. Here's definitely a question of whether I started to go wrong or not. Something like something simpler maybe, like bishop h6, queen b6, rook ac8, rook c7, rook fc8, and then knight b4 penetrate on the c file. Something's yeah. This is okay still though. King g2, f6, still okay. I think bishop takes might have been slightly more accurate though. Um, you play. If my plan is bishop g5 and followed by queen h6, then that's the quickest way to get to it. This is okay though. And he's just so passive defense. Like this is really quite a swindle for him to have even not lost this game. This is why I'm a bad blitz player because I just do like stupid stuff from good positions. Also why I'm not so great at classical chess. All the safe, all the self-loathing just washes over you after you lose a game. I thought I was winning here. Bishop h4. Yeah, I had the plan of playing rook f7, queen f8, but he has e4 apparently, which is like slightly annoying. It shouldn't have been enough to save it. What to do here? There's no useful knight move. Oh, you know what I could have done? Could have gone knight d8 to f7 to g5. That's hard to spot in a game. That's a long maneuver. Knight e7 to f5 is the one I always like to play, but that's when white doesn't play g4. In this game, he had played g4, so I don't have the way to get this knight in the game. Because I need because I'm basically playing against one weakness, this F file on the king side. I need, or just more generally, the dark squares in general is on the king side is what the weakness is. I need to outnumber him on those. I need my attackers to outnumber his defenders, and right now he's got every one of his pieces is on the king side, and I have one that's over here doing nothing. So that was ultimately the problem strategically. I'm wondering if I move like knight d8 here can be played. If he plays e4. If I'm in time to just do this. This was a question during the game whether I should ignore this or not. I think I should try to ignore it if I can. Because this pawn isn't going to queen or anything. But it will take there. It's awfully provocative play by black now. Not even threatening anything yet. Yeah, this doesn't work. You'd have to take. It just seems like he opens up the position. He gets counterplay on the light squares. That's what happened in the game. He got counterplay that caused me to liquidate. Here, this might be a little more effective, though. Queen's awkward on e4 now. But again, he could just... I mean, he could play any move, really. Like knight c3, knight g5, queen d3, and this is all defended. Actually, it's not. I mean, he needs to defend it with something less valuable than his queen. See, like tactics. Not good at tactics either. So terrible at chess. Maybe rook e3. And that. Oh, boy. And there's probably some trick like this. Like that. Is that... It's two pieces for rook and pawn, but the attack continues, right? Does the attack continue? Can he just defend? Even here, he can just defend. And now I'm not so sure who's better. Very unclear. I usually like two pieces rather than a rook. Knight d8 maybe is too slow. Yeah, I can't really criticize this move too much then, I guess. e4. Can I criticize taken? Is this a lethal threat? It's not lethal, but is it... What is it exactly? What if he takes? He's got everything defended here. You can take, and this is still pinned. Yeah, this is still pinned. This bishop is still pinned. I think does this, drops like that. Yeah. Then after this, I'm up a piece. So he doesn't take. It's hard to unpin it. That was my whole point behind this, is that white really can't unpin himself. He can just, black's not threatening anything immediately, but like, white can't like really move anything. Well, he can move his knight. Like, he can move his knight anywhere. So let's do that. Now do I have knight takes d4 tricks? I don't know. I want to do it. Just knight takes d5 is like annoying. Alright, this threatens here, so he kind of has to respond. But I'm wondering if he can just do this. Yeah, it's like too much liquidation already. I feel like white's exposed king should still provide black an advantage, but he can't afford to trade any more pieces. That was my mistake. I mean, I don't think it was forced to trade everything. Yeah, and I thought this was a blunder by him because of the if I thought if the pawn on d4 drops he loses, but like that's not a good assumption. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Queen d5. Yeah, and here I just was low on time and panicked, like, 'cause I don't see anything. I don't see anything concrete for black. But and I took and I miscounted. Obviously, he's got enough things defending, so this was not justified. But yeah, I'm looking at this now, and what does black have? Actually, he might have something here. It's hard to believe that white can be okay after all the liberties he took. All the liberties. It's just a game where you can't take liberties. It's very rigid. Maybe knight c2. Obviously, didn't see that at all during the game. Wish I could flip this board. It's not even the same thing I'm looking at as when I looked at that during the game. Super frustrating. Knight c2. Okay. So my point is I'm going to go knight e1. So he keeps the rook on the e file to be really annoying. To be really, really annoying. 1, 2, 3. But maybe... No, I still can't really take. Well, maybe there's... this rook is overworked now. It's defending e1 and f3. So if we take once... Can't take twice, obviously. But we check them. Get the exchange. Yeah, but the material's just even again. No, it doesn't work. Knight c2, just rook e2, and now I need a follow-up. Other than the repetition, knight d4. Yeah. Frustrating. What can I say? Super frustrating. He has just enough counterplay. My king is just exposed enough, it looks like. Hard to believe, man. I don't believe it. We'll keep on looking until I find it. Until I find it. Alright, maybe... Oh, is unpinning a reasonable approach? Just unpin. Ask white to find more moves. Knight c2. Can't attack f3 any more times. He can't defend it any more times. Alright, now maybe the point is, if the knight moves away, now I have knight c2 to try to go to e3, the e3 square, somehow. Somehow. Rook covers it, but can we do anything about this? We have knight d4 check in this line. In this line. So rook takes. I want to do rook takes and then check on d4, but I'm wondering about rook takes and then rook takes c2. Yeah, but this should win. This should win. Still, I gotta prove it. This is so hard to prove. Yeah, I don't see it, actually. I still don't see it. What about this? Does my king have enough shelter to play like this? On h6. Yeah, maybe this just wins. All right. Well, one last thing before we go. I will look at the computer. I will go to the computer and see what the computer has to say. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't live. Can I do live analysis on chess.com? Can I just like turn on an engine? Is that what I thought this was part of like the big one of the big like advantages of this new setup. But I guess I was wrong. There's no live analysis, live computer analysis. Oh well. What can you do? All right, let's call it a wrap. Hope you enjoyed that episode more than I did. It's a bad game by me, but hopefully you learn something from it. Hopefully you learn something from the opening. Um, Maybe why white should not play bishop e2 and why you should throw in 7 bishop b5 check. Because the position after the knight freely develops to c6 and h6 and to f5, that was, this here, was quite pleasant for black. Black has no problems. And then maybe you learned a little bit about practical blitz play, let's say. The importance of find and counterplay. Like this move 23e4, you got to give props to my opponent for finding it. But you got to try to when your opponent is just keying off on one weakness, you got to try some dynamic counterplay. And in this case, there was white was at such a disadvantage on the dark squares that this counterplay, of course, comes on the light squares. And then lastly, maybe you could take some lessons from this moment in terms of resiliency. Okay, so maybe the attack hasn't gone perfectly for black, and maybe his advantage has slipped. Maybe this liquidation of pawns was not ideal. But still, black should not be worse and not be in danger of losing. However, trading away all black's good pieces for all white's defensive pieces was obviously strategically terrible. And it resulted in a position that was, after all the trades, this is a very high-risk position, especially in blitz. Well, it's probably not actually that high risk in regular chess. Bishop versus knight, pawns on both sides of the board. White's king is a little bit closer to the center. It's probably going to be a draw, best play. But in blitz, with the powers of the knight and knight forks, this was almost decisive for white. And it proved to be because I just blunder things when I only have 3 seconds on the clock. So when knight c6 happened, I mean, it's already going downhill once his king gets to e4. Which happened very quickly. Bishop f6 was probably not... Well, it's hard to criticize it. You gotta tie down the knight. Make him spend a tempo on b3. Yeah, this may... I can't corral his knight with my bishop at all. Like, his knight just bounces in on the light squares. And these pawns are too far away to defend. His king has got the more advanced position. So actually, in this position, this ending favors white quite a bit. You might have some hope in classical chess, but in blitz, this was just terrible. Okay. Well, this is hbeck signing off.